I was left behind at my own wedding. She found someone better, my best man, smirked as he delivered the news. I stood frozen in my suit, everyone watching. Instead of crying, I just smiled and left. 3 months later, my phone exploded with messages when they both discovered what I had been planning all along. A 32 male met Elise 5 years ago at a mutual friend's birthday party. She was everything I wanted, smart, ambitious, and we clicked immediately. After 3 years together, I proposed. She said yes, and we spent the next year planning our wedding. My best friend since college, Nathan, was the obvious choice for best man. He'd been by my side through everything, breakups, job losses, my parents' divorce. I trusted him completely. The wedding day arrived. Everything was set. The venue decorated, guests seated, and I was standing at the altar in my tailored suit, waiting for my bride. When she was 30 minutes late, I started to worry. At 45 minutes, my stomach was in knots. Then Nathan walked in through the side door. His face showed no emotion as he approached me. "She's not coming," he said flatly. "She found someone better." The room went silent. 180 pairs of eyes staring at me, waiting for my reaction. Period. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice barely audible. "She's with me now," Nathan smirked. "Has been for months. We didn't want to hurt you, but..." He shrugged like it was nothing. You know how these things happen. My best man, my fiancé, together. I could feel my heart pounding, but something weird happened. Instead of breaking down, I felt an eerie calm wash over me. I looked at Nathan, then at our friends and family, then back at Nathan. "Okay," I said quietly, nodding. "Good to know." I turned to the guests, forced a smile, and said, "Thank you all for coming, but there won't be a wedding today. Please enjoy the food and drinks." Then I walked out. My phone blew up immediately. My sister calling, my parents, Elisa's parents, friends. I turned it off. I drove to a hotel, checked in, and sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the wall. I didn't cry, didn't scream, just sat there, thinking. Nathan had been my business partner in our tech startup for the last 4 years. We bootstrapped it with our savings, worked 80-hour weeks, and finally secured a major acquisition offer just 3 months ago. The paperwork was being finalized next week. Elise knew all about it. The acquisition would make us both millionaires. As I sat in that hotel room, I realized I wasn't just betrayed emotionally. This was calculated, and in that moment, I decided. If they wanted to play games, I'd show them how it's done. Update. 2 weeks later. First, thank you for all the support. Never expected my post to blow up like this. Reading your comments helped more than you know. These 2 weeks have been interesting. I've been staying with my sister while sorting things out. Elise moved most of her stuff out of our place while I was gone. She left her key on the counter with a note that said, "I'm sorry it happened this way. I hope someday you can forgive us both." Forgive them? Lol. Nathan texted me about talking through the business situation like adults. I've read his messages but haven't responded. He's called 17 times. His last text, "Don't fuck this up for both of us because you're emotional." I'm emotional. That's rich. Yesterday, Elise's mom showed up at my sister's place. Apparently, Elise told everyone I was controlling and emotionally unavailable, which is why she had to find comfort elsewhere. For Mom actually asked if I would consider working things out, because Elise was confused. I just stared at her until she left. Meanwhile, I'd been busy. Met with my lawyer 3 times. During our years building the company, I was always the technical brain behind our product. Nathan was the charismatic frontman, the networker, the guy who charmed clients. We were a good team because we complemented each other's strengths. What Nathan doesn't realize is that I've been developing our next-gen product myself for the past 1.5 years. I started this side project while he and Elise were apparently starting their affair. The acquisition company is particularly interested in this new technology. It's the main reason for the high valuation. and I have full documentation showing I'm the sole creator, having worked on it nights and weekends separate from company time. The acquisition is still moving forward, and both founders are expected to stay on for 18 months after the sale. Nathan doesn't know about my conversations with the acquisition team regarding my solo work on the next-gen product. I've also been going through our text and email history, found some interesting exchanges where Nathan specifically discussed timing the reveal of their affair to happen right before the acquisition payday. Elise's replies include gems like, "He's too nice to fight back," and "He'll probably just forgive you."
They have no idea what's coming.
Update. 1 month after wedding. Things are escalating quickly. Nathan showed up at my condo yesterday, banging on the door at 11 p.m. When I didn't answer, he started yelling that I was being childish and risking everything we built by ignoring him. My neighbor called security. I watched through the peephole as he was escorted out, still yelling about how I owed him a conversation. Owed him? The audacity! This morning, he emailed the acquisition company directly, trying to negotiate without me. He told them I was having personal issues and suggested they work exclusively with him. Fortunately, my lawyer and I had already briefed them on the situation. They forwarded his email to me with a simple message. "Is this the partner problem you mentioned?" Elise has gone full victim mode. She posted on social media about toxic relationships and how sometimes the heart chooses a different path. Several mutuals commented with hearts and support. The most insulting part, Nathan's sister, Mia, called me to explain how these things just happen and that no one meant to hurt you. She suggested I should be mature enough to separate business from personal matters. I laughed and hung up. Nathan still doesn't realize that I've been documenting everything. Every call, every text, every email where he discussed how they planned to blindside me. And as of yesterday, I've finalized all documentation proving my sole ownership of the next-gen product that makes up 70% of our company's valuation. The acquisition meeting is in 2 days. Nathan thinks we're both attending to sign the final papers. He has no idea I've already had my own meeting with them. Update. 3 months post-wedding. It's been a wild 3 months, but today was the day it all came together. The meeting with the acquisition company went exactly as planned. When Nathan showed up, 15 minutes late, as usual, he found me, my lawyer, and the entire executive team already seated. His chair was conspicuously missing. "What's going on?" he asked, looking confused. My lawyer slid a folder across the table. Inside was complete documentation of my sole development of our next-gen product, including timestamps, development logs, and patent applications filed in my name only. "You can't do this," he sputtered, his face turning red. "This is our company. That's our product." Actually, I corrected him. The company is ours, but this specific technology is mine. I developed it nights and weekends outside company time and documented everything meticulously. The acquisition CEO leaned forward. "We've reviewed the evidence, Nathan. While we value both your contributions to the original company, this next-generation technology represents approximately 70% of our interest in the acquisition." Nathan looked shell-shocked. But the deal we were both supposed to..." "The deal can still proceed," said the CEO. "But with adjusted terms. Your partner here has proven to be the sole creator of the technology we're most interested in. Our offer to him stands. Our offer to you is being recalculated accordingly." Nathan pointed at me accusingly. "You planned this all along?" "No," I replied evenly. "I just did my job while you were busy planning your affair with my fiancée." The meeting continued with Nathan sidelined. The acquisition would proceed with me receiving 85% of the proceeds based on intellectual property valuation. Nathan would receive the remaining 15% for his contribution to the original business. Both of us would still need to stay with the company for the 18-month transition period as originally planned. That afternoon, my phone exploded with notifications. Nathan, you can't do this to me. Nathan, I'll sue you. Nathan, you've ruined everything. Elise, what have you done? Nathan is devastated. Elise, we need to talk right now. Elise, this isn't fair. It was just a relationship issue. Then came the flying monkeys. Mia,
How could you be so petty?
Nathan's mom. After all he's done for you. Mutual friend Tyler. Bro, this is taking things too far. I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I forwarded them all something else. Screenshots of the texts where they planned the wedding day betrayal to happen before the acquisition, specifically to try to emotionally devastate me to the point I wouldn't fight back. The phone calls stopped abruptly. An hour later, I got an email from the real estate agent. The sale of my condo was complete. By tomorrow, I'll be on a flight to start my new life. Nathan and Elise can have each other. What they won't have is the future they planned at my expense. Update. 6 months later. It's been half a year since that day at the auto, and I'm writing this from my new apartment overlooking the ocean. The view helps. The acquisition deal closed successfully. I stayed on as a consultant for the transition, then stepped away completely. Financial freedom at 32 feels surreal. Nathan didn't handle things well. His threats to sue fizzled when his own lawyer reviewed the intellectual property documentation and explained that side projects developed on personal time were legally separate from the company's assets. We both still work at the company, but in different departments. The tension is palpable whenever we're in the same meeting, but the acquisition team keeps us separated most of the time. The required 18-month transition period continues, but I'm counting down the days. Last I heard, his professional reputation took a hit after several key clients learned what happened and chose to follow me to the new company instead. He's still doing okay financially from his 15% of the acquisition, but nowhere near what he expected. Elise reached out last month with a novel-length email about how she made a terrible mistake and never stopped loving me. Apparently, Nathan dumped her 3 months after the wedding fiasco when the reality of the new financial arrangement sank in. She's moved back in with her parents. Their relationship imploded spectacularly once the money factor was removed. Karma works in mysterious ways. The strangest part, I feel nothing for either of them now. No anger, no resentment, just nothing. Some unexpected developments. Nathan's younger brother reached out to apologize. Unlike the rest of Nathan's family, he recognized how messed up the situation was and wanted no part in defending it. We've actually become friends. Several investors who heard about how I handled the situation have approached me about my next venture. Turns out, integrity matters in business after all. I've started dating again, casually. Nothing serious yet, but it's nice to know that one betrayal doesn't define your whole life. To everyone who supported me through this, thank you. The advice to stay calm, document everything, and let the consequences happen naturally was spot on. For anyone going through something similar, sometimes the best revenge isn't a dramatic confrontation, but simply letting people face the natural consequences of their actions while you move on to better things. I won't be updating again. This chapter of my life is closed. Unexpected update. 1 year later. I wasn't planning to post again, but something happened yesterday that I thought might provide closure for those who followed my story. I was back in my hometown for a friend's wedding. Yes, ironic. When I ran into Nathan's mum at the hotel bar. I tried to leave without engaging, but she approached me. "You destroyed my son's life," she said, loud enough for nearby people to hear. I took a deep breath. "Your son made his choices." So did I.
You lost everything because of you.
She continued, her voice rising. His business, his reputation, his relationship. Several people were staring now. I kept my voice calm. "Your son slept with my fiancée, planned to humiliate me at my own wedding, and tried to cut me out of my own company. What exactly did you expect to happen?" Her face reddened.
It wasn't like that.
Elise came on to him.
He was trying to let you down gently.
I couldn't help but laugh. By telling me she found someone better in front of all our family and friends. That was gentle.
Well, you didn't have to ruin him financially,
she insisted. That was vindictive. No, I said, vindictive would have been sending everyone the texts where they planned exactly how and when to betray me. Vindictive would have been taking the entire deal for myself and leaving him with nothing, which I legally could have done with the intellectual property I created. What I did was protect my work while still allowing him to walk away with something. She had no response to that. As I walked away, she called after me.
He's still struggling to rebuild, you know?
Are you happy now? I stopped and turned back. I'm not happy or sad about Nathan's situation. I just don't care anymore. That's the difference between revenge and justice. Revenge consumes you. Justice frees you. I walked out and enjoyed the rest of my weekend. This is truly my final update. I've moved on completely, building a new business, dating someone wonderful, and looking forward rather than back. Life after betrayal isn't about getting even. It's about getting free. That freedom worth every penny.